You hear all this talk about amazing, world-changing AI, but here's the dirty little secret. Most of those brilliant ideas end up in a hidden graveyard, stuck on a developer's laptop, never actually seeing the light of day. Today we're talking about the bridge that gets AI out of the lab and into the real world, where it can finally start making an impact.
Let's just kick things off with a number that should really make you sit up and pay attention. 76%. That's the percentage of C-suite executives who admit they are struggling to scale their AI initiatives. They're pouring in the money, they believe in the dream, but they keep hitting this massive wall when it's time to actually use the stuff.
And that leads to this fascinating but really frustrating question. If all these incredible models are being built, where on earth do they all go? Well, the answer is a place some people call the AI graveyard. It's this digital resting place for powerful, game-changing models that are never deployed, never used, and never deliver on their amazing potential. So, to really get how we fix this, here's our game plan. We'll start by digging into the AI problem itself. Then we'll define what ModelOps actually is, walk through its life cycle, clear up the common confusion with MLOps, and finally, we'll talk about why any of this really matters to a business. Okay, let's dig into the heart of this disconnect. What is it that makes the journey from a data scientist's laptop to a live working system so ridiculously hard? And here is what that disconnect looks like in the real world. A few years back, Gartner found that managers thought they'd have AI running in about a quarter of their systems. The reality, a year later, a measly 5%. That huge gap, it represents millions in wasted cash and just a massive amount of unfulfilled promise.
And this isn't just some abstract problem on a business report. It's deeply frustrating for the people on the ground building this technology. Data scientists are pouring their hearts and souls into these models, only to see them collect digital dust on a shelf. It's like inventing a revolutionary new engine that never, ever gets put inside a car.
And this, right here, is the exact problem that ModelOps was created to solve. It's the framework, the blueprint, designed to be that bridge from the lab to a live system. And it handles not just getting it out the door, but the really critical, long-term governance of that model.
And let's be clear, this isn't just some niche tool for the tech nerds. As Forbes puts it, ModelOps is the key to enterprise AI. This is a big strategic deal. It's what separates the companies that just play around with AI from the ones that actually build their business on it.
So, what is it really? Well, according to Gartner's official definition, there are two phrases here that are absolutely crucial. First, governance and lifecycle management. See, this isn't just about launching a model. It's about controlling it, managing it for its entire life. And second, a wide range of models. This tells you we're talking about all AI, not just one specific flavor of it.
Okay, so that's the what. But what does this actually look like in practice? Well, the power of ModelOps is all in its continuous, repeatable lifecycle.
The whole thing breaks down into 4 main stages. It all starts with build, right? That's where the model is designed. From there, it moves into manage, which covers all the training, testing, and versioning. Once it gets the green light, it's deployed into the real world. But, and this is key, it doesn't stop there. The final crucial step is to monitor it constantly, checking its performance and accuracy. And all that data from monitoring, it feeds right back to the beginning, creating this awesome loop of continuous improvement.
Now, right about now, you might be thinking, hold on a second. Isn't this just MLOps? It's a super common question, and honestly, a huge point of confusion. So let's clear that up right now. The simplest way to think about it is all about scope. MLOps is a specialist. It's laser-focused on deploying one specific type, machine learning models. ModelOps, on the other hand, is the big umbrella that covers everything. It includes MLOps, but it expands to manage a company's entire AI portfolio, from machine learning to optimization models to even simple rule-based systems.
This table really breaks down the key differences. So while MLOps is focused on that technical loop for just ML models, ModelOps elevates the whole conversation to enterprise-wide governance for all models. But honestly, the most important difference is right there at the bottom, under AIM. MLOps helps technical teams work together. ModelOps gives business leaders the transparency they need to actually trust, manage, and scale their AI with real confidence.
So we get the what and the how, but let's bring this all back to the real world. Why should a business actually invest time, money, and people into this? What's the real payoff?
The benefits are, and I'm not exaggerating, transformational. It's not just about being faster, though you absolutely get your models to market way quicker. It's about safety,
about catching things like model drift before they cause real problems. It's about being ready for an audit and compliant from day one. And when you put all that together, speed, safety, and compliance, you're not just running cool experiments anymore. You're driving real, predictable business value.
Let's make this a little more concrete. Take an industry like financial services, which is incredibly dependent on complex models for things like deciding who gets a loan or assessing market risk. In finance, a model can't just be accurate. It has to be fair, unbiased, and totally auditable for the regulators. ModelOps automates the monitoring for all of that stuff, making sure the models are solid and transparent. And in a field that's so heavily regulated, that's completely non-negotiable.
Okay, now let's jump to a completely different sector, healthcare. In this world, AI models can have a direct, immediate impact on a patient's life.
So imagine a real-time model that can predict a dangerous drop in blood sugar for a patient with diabetes. For that model to be useful, it has to be flawless. It has to be reliable, constantly updated with new data, and available 24/7. ModelOps is the engine that orchestrates that entire critical process, making sure that life-saving model is always accurate and trustworthy.
And that really brings us to the ultimate takeaway here. What does all this automation and governance and monitoring actually get you? This quote from Data Science Central just hits the nail on the head. Bottom line, ModelOps promotes trust. And when your leaders, your regulators, and your customers actually trust the AI systems, adoption goes through the roof. And that is when you unlock its true power.
So I'll just leave you with this. It's not enough to build a brilliant AI model. The real question is it built to last? Do you have the systems in place to govern it, to scale it, and ultimately to trust it for the long haul? Answering that question is the difference between